Hello guys, good morning, good evening and good night to you, wherever you are. In today's video, I'll tell you guys the best fantasy Premier League team for game week number 12. This will be specifically only for game week number 12, so I would not advise you to wildcard for this team because I'm not thinking long term, I'm only thinking for this game week. Probably if you're taking a free hit, which I would not advise, then you could think of this team. And as I mentioned in the previous game week, I said I'll try to get a higher score than what the FPL Scout selection get. And they got a total of 67 points, and last game week I got 76 points. 76 points is not a very high scoring game week, especially because many other people got higher than that. But I think I can do better in this game week because it's a bit more obvious who's the better choices. So let's start off with this team. I have Carl Darlow in goal, who's made the most saves in the Premier League, but I do not expect him to make many saves in this game week, especially because West Brom do not take many shots. So I expect a clean sheet as a minimum from him, and hopefully he does make a minimum of 3 saves, then he can possibly get a bonus point. Then my defense, I have Kyle Walker-Peters, Robertson and Dyer. Dyer because Tottenham are a very good side, defensively and attackingly. So I think that against Crystal Palace they'll do very well. And in Tottenham's last 6 games, they've kept 5 clean sheets. And then Robertson, who is an attacking fullback, and I expect him to get some assists and a clean sheet, especially against Fulham, because Liverpool are a good defensive side and they kept a clean sheet against Wolves in the previous game. I would not be surprised if Robertson gets a double-digit haul in this game. That includes a clean sheet and an assist. And then Kyle Walker-Peters, who is playing against Sheffield United, who are not very good attacking, and they've scored only 5 goals this season in 11 games. They've scored the joint least amount of goals from any Premier League team. So I would expect that Kyle Walker-Peters with Southampton will keep a clean sheet, and he's an attacking fullback also, same as Robertson. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does get 1 assist. But I would expect a minimum of 5 to 6 points. Now let's talk about my midfield, especially Mo Salah, because he played 90 minutes in the Champions League. And do I expect him to start? I'm not 100% sure. If he was rested in the Champions League, I would expect him to start. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's rested in this game, because after this game, a few days later, he has Tottenham, which is a tougher fixture, and I think Klopp might rest him in this game and play him against Tottenham. But we know Salah is a fit person, so Salah might actually start in this game. Right now, it's currently 50-50. So it is probably a risky choice to captain him, and probably I should captain Kane because I do think that Kane is a good captain option for this game week, especially that he's playing against Crystal Palace and he has a good record against Crystal Palace. And it's technically a London derby. But I think I'll take the risk and I'll captain Mo Salah. Then another midfielder that I have who is a Liverpool player, that is Jota. He was rested against Wolves, but I do not expect him to get rested against Fulham. And he might take Mo Salah's position for this game because Salah might get rested. So I'm still not sure what to do with Mo Salah, as I mentioned before, but I think I'll have both of them and captain Mo Salah. Then another midfield option who is Son. Son performed well against Arsenal and he scored an outrageous goal. And I didn't have him in my last game week team because I didn't think he'll do well against Arsenal. But against Crystal Palace, who are a poor defensive side this season, I think he might be able to get a goal or an assist, especially because Tottenham with Mourinho have implemented a very good squad and Son and Kane are performing well together. So I think it's good to have both of them. I do not think that's good for the whole of the season, obviously, but for this game week, I probably think it will work. Then, Neto. I think this is a good differential option. Last game week, I had a differential option of Mason Mount, and he got 8 points. This game week, it's Neto, and I think he'll do well in this game week, especially because Aston Villa defensively have been inconsistent this season. And Wolves are missing a striker who is Jimenez, so I think he'll perform well and will be the one who scores the goals or gets an assist. And I would expect that Aston Villa do not keep a clean sheet in this game. So, if Aston Villa do not keep a clean sheet, Wolves will score. And if Wolves will score, I think Neto will be involved. Then Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse has been performing well this season and got an assist, goals from free kicks and corners. And he's a cheap FPL option. But do I think he's a good player for the long term? No, I do not think that. But I think for this game week he's good because Sheffield United, who's his opponents, haven't kept a clean sheet this season and Danny Ings is now back. So now this gives an option for Ward-Prowse to give assist for Danny Ings. So I actually think that Ward-Prowse will do well in this game week. Then my front line of Wilson and Kane. As I mentioned before, Kane, I think, is a great captain for this game week. So if I think he's a great captain, I will obviously put him in this team. And then Callum Wilson, who's playing against West Brom, who've conceded a lot of big chances. I think Callum Wilson will get good chances enough to score some goals. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets double digits in this game week. Now guys, which players would you change? And if you have any questions, football related, FPL related, tell me in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as possible. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe and goodbye.